Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday evening, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Sag on Block Marathon Madness. Today we're discussing Season 9, Episode 16, Perfect Preschoolers, and then Season 9, Episode 17, Witch Savage. So let's begin. So starting with Season 9, Episode 16, Perfect Preschoolers. This episode starts out normal. He gets on the bus, he gets to school, he gets breakfast, and he goes to Hartman. Um, um, and today is a preschool day, is a Thursday, and Tuesday, remember Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are preschool days for early childhood education class. Um, so today he is Mr. Hunter today. Um, so they do their morning. All the kiddos, all the preschoolers get there, get to the class. We do morning meeting. Um, no, not morning meeting. They do their centers first, uh, which is art, which is, I believe the theme this week is like winter or something. Um, I don't, but something like that. Um, which is art center, music center, lighting center, um, blocks and manipulatives center, um, science. Did I say science center? Um, waiting center. Um, yeah, dramatic play, which is very fun. Um, so, um, they do that, and then they have a morning meeting. They do the calendar. They do the weather, which is like cold probably and like snowy, and the weather song, the famous fun weather song. Um, and then they have their days of the week, months of the year, um, stuff like that. And then and then we pick the line leader and the helper and all the fun jobs that we had in preschool and elementary school. And then they have their music lesson. Um and then they go to reading, story time, they have a story. Um and all the kiddos, all the preschoolers are perfectly behaved and they're being perfect, they're having good behavior. So they're listening, they're sitting still for the most part, there's no tantrum. So, um, they're all being good kiddos, and all our kiddos that year were all, but overall, they were pretty good. There was no fighting, there's not really bullying, there wasn't really, um, uh, you know, they were nice to the teachers and me, and, um, like, they were all pretty much well behaved. There were some instances of tantrum. Of course, what toddler doesn't love a tantrum? But overall, we had some pretty good listeners. They all pretty sat still. Now, early on, they weren't sitting still so much, and still they didn't at this point in the year. But we had some pretty good kiddos. But because most kids, on average, you know, in elementary, where are kind of wild and kind of like, and our kids were sometimes wild too. Um, but most kids are like really wild and tantrums and bad behavior for the most part. But our kids were pretty well behaved, so we're very thankful for that. Um, and today their behavior was perfect on this day. Um, then they have their alphabet lesson, and then they have snack time. They do the snack song. They have their snack, and then they have physical activity. They do like a game or something. I think maybe even an obstacle course. I think. Um, um, and then they have a themed lesson. So about the theme or the letter of the week. Um, or they do like a game or activity or something like that. So, and then they have their afternoon centers. And then they have the closing time. They talk about their day. Um, They do like some puzzles, they do some activities, they do some songs, and then the parents pick them up. We give them a good A+ report for the day because they were all good. And then Mr. Hunter is done being Mr. Hunter for the day, and then he goes back from Heartland to the high school. Um, he does advisory, study hall, whatever you want to call it. Um, which we don't see. And then he has lunch and he meets with the Brotherhood members, and they're all in a good mood. It's a pretty terrific Thursday today. They eat their lunch, um, and it's game day Thursday. And I think the lunch is Oscar sticks, which I love Oscar. Um, they do their games to do some TikTok. And then let me think. Oh, and then they get done lunch. I don't know. Um, And then he goes to science with Mr. Mindock and Mr. Miller, who is the student teacher. And then they have a bell work and then a lesson. And then they have an activity thing that they do, assignment thing that they do. And then he goes to Algebra 2 with Mr. Stevens. Um, they have a lesson, which is kind of difficult. Um, and then the resource with Miss Oswald, he gets the assignment from Algebra 2 done. He has a hard time, and Miss Oswald has to handle all the other students too, so work with them. So it's kind of stressful, but he gets it done. He always gets it done. He does decent on it, and then he goes to U.S. history with Mr. Wild Village, and they have a lesson and an assignment. And then the bell rings at 3:30, and then he goes home. Now we're going to discuss season. This is the next day, actually. Season 9, episode 17, or the next week or something. Um, this is Witch Savage. So, um, okay. So he has breakfast. He gets on the Hartman bus. Um, it's a Friday, I believe. This is the first day that. Let me see. 23. Let me see. Let me fact check myself. I'm pretty sure this one's a Friday. It's been 3 years ago. So yeah. Oh no. So the last episode I just got done talking about was not a Thursday. It was Tuesday. This is a Wednesday. So it is an English day today. So he goes to Miss B's English class. That's what I call her. And many other people called her. Um, and he has a bell work, and then they have like a activity, like a lesson. And they're working on a book right now. Um, then they have 15 to 20-minute break, and Hunter's been making some cash and money. He got some um, Christmas money. He has some money from like an internship that he does that he's had. Um, and he has like 100 something dollars. And and the break, he wants to buy something from the vending, uh, like a snack or something, I think. So he gets some money out and expresses his money as a savage because he is a witch savage today. And he's like, "Ooh, I'm rich today." And he decides at the break, which we get to see this break today. Usually we don't film it. Um, but we get to see the break. He gets a snack or like a drink out of the vending machine. And he's like, I got this money. He's flexing this money around, saying that he's a rich savage. I'm a rich savage. I got this money. Uh, and, and he puts it away. And then he goes to class. And we kind of kept filming. Because he discovered this is real life too. Well, like all for the show, but it was like my real paycheck money. So, oh my God! But I find out in class, I count my money. Well, I put it in my pocket and take it and put it back into the bag. Oh my gosh! I lost the money, and we had to cut the camera. We cut the camera. We cut it off. We paused. We have a commercial break. We put commercial break in there. Oh my God, where's my money? Where's my I'm freaking out. I asked, to go to the bathroom, which I'm not going to the bathroom. And I go out to oh my God. I'm like freaking out. This is some behind the scenes stuff that I had never told anyone because we cut the camera. Where's my money? When I was doing that scene, I must have dropped something. And I saw a guy, a staff member, and he said that he found some money on the ground. Is this yours? Because he saw me looking, and I said, yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. I must have dropped it during the flexing thing when I was flexing my money. I'm not doing this episode again. I'm not doing anything like this again. And I was like, thank God. He said, be responsible. I said, okay. But we get the camera back on. Um, they're working on an assignment or activity in class. Um, and they work on it. And in the middle of it, he is able to. Wednesday is a preschool day again. So he is able to be Mr. Hunter today again, and he's able to teach his lesson um, because he's catched up with the class. So he does the lesson, he teaches the lesson, all the kiddos are happy to see me. Um, so he does his lesson, and then he tells them bye, and then he goes to back to English, and then they're working on their book and doing like activity with the book. So he does that, and then Hartman bell rings. He gets on the bus. He gets back to the high school. Study hall, which we don't see ever, and we never will. We never have. Lunch. He has a Brotherhood meeting with his Brotherhood. There's a hamburger and fries day. He loves hamburger. That's another favorite. I love pizza, Bosco sticks. I love I used to love egg rolls and stuff. I haven't had one in a long time. I love pizza, fries, ice cream, cake. I'm a foodie, okay? If you didn't already know. Now, then he must eat, and then he goes to science with Mr. Midnock, Mr. Miller. They have a bell work, um, and then they have like a lesson and activity, and then he goes to Algebra 2, and um, I think there's sub or something for Mr. Steven, and it's just a chill day. There's no lesson because there was a lesson. Yes, I think that's what he does. Lesson, wait, lesson, and then like maybe lesson or quiz on the end of the week. But today's a chill day, so we do a commercial break, and Hunter just watches TikTok and stuff, and does some games, Facebook, Instagram, all of it, YouTube. And then he goes to resource with Miss Oswald. He works on some work that he has, and he does some TikTok and stuff. Because there's no Algebra 2 assignment today, I don't think. And I could be wrong about all of that. And then he goes to Mr. Winwage's, Wild Winwage's, U.S. history class. He rants a little bit, and then they have a lesson, and then he does the activity. And that is it. The bell rings at 3:30. He goes home. And that's it. I hope everyone has a wonderful Thursday night, a terrific Thursday night, and I'll see you here Friday night for another episode of Sad John Block Marathon Madness. God bless and protect each and every one of you, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.